So the holidays are over and now it's time to do some work. But as you can see, my garage is a little bit stuffed and full of all sorts of junk. So I guess I'll have to get my good old Black & Decker Workmate out. It looks a bit old and good it is. Problem is, despite it being practically brand new, I bought it in 1986, it's got a bit of wear and tear on it. I've had to do a few repairs over the years. I had to weld up some of the frame which had come apart, and I had to make a new handle out of aluminium. I'll do a better job someday, but the main problem is the worktop. As you can see, they don't make them the way they used to anymore, and the modern ones are even worse. So I wasn't going to buy a new one. I mean, I used this as long as I could, but now I think it's time to cut up a few of these cut off pieces of plywood that I have and make a new worktop. Just a temporary one. When I refurbish it the next after 30 years or so, then I'll do a proper job. I'm not good at cutting accurately, so I had to measure the distance from the inside of the saw blade to make to set up a straight edge so that I could cut hopefully straight. Safety gear, important. My assistants had other ideas about reflective jackets, hard hats and dust masks, so I had to stress on them the importance of that sort of thing. Yeah, and I know I should have clamped the piece of wood to the worktop, but it worked. I still have the standard number of fingers and toes. And best of all, there's a cut-off or two for the dog to play with. To cut the holes, I bought one of these Forstner bits, which is not always a great success because they tend to wander a little bit. Next time I redo this in 30 years' time, I'll get it into a drill press, which I don't have, and I don't have space for at the moment. But who knows, if I won the lottery, I'll get a nice big workshop. The holes don't quite line up, so to get the bolts to and the nuts to fit in, I had to get out the Dremel. What would we do without a Dremel? So the Dremel was good enough to ream out those holes and the bolts went in, but there's a little problem. My plywood is probably a bit thinner than the original was, and there's a little bit of a protrusion problem. If it's a problem in the long time, I'll take the angle grinder to it. Otherwise, next time I'll put on thicker plywood. Yeah, I drilled the pilot holes using the old top as a pattern. And then I went at it with a Forstner bit, but again, as you can see, if you drill through, it makes a mess. So I then finished the holes from the underside. But once again, I had this problem of the bit wandering a little bit. So as you can see, some of the holes don't quite meet at the same place, which might be a problem when I put the dogs in. I need to make a few more. I only have 2 of the old plastic dogs, but this dog decided to eat the sawdust. I don't know if he needs more fiber in his diet or what. There you are. Final product is acceptable, I think, and it works. Whenever I go and throw money at my boat, I can use it out there in the boatyard. And I'm not saying you should do the same. This is what I did, and it worked for me. Thanks for watching.